mist-shrouded waters of the Platte River, there drifts a ship that should not exist, a ghostly vessel known as the Death Ship, first sighted in the mid-1800s. This eerie apparition has haunted the stretch between Alcova and Torrington, Wyoming, ever since. The ship, unnaturally gray and spectral, glides silently across the river's surface, its sails billowing in the windless air, as though propelled by something far more sinister than the breeze. But it's the crew that truly chills the soul. The sailors aboard the Death Ship are no men at all. They are phantoms, pale, hollow-eyed figures who stand motionless on deck, their faces twisted in eternal suffering. They move with an unnatural jerking motion, as though bound by some cruel force that will never allow them peace. No one has ever heard them speak, nor seen them react to the world around them. They simply drift, forever trapped on their cursed vessel. Locals speak of the ship's appearance as a death omen. Those who have witnessed it often report a sense of overwhelming dread, as if the ship is drawing them closer to the grave. Some claim that if you stare too long at the ghostly ship, it will come for you, its crew reaching out, cold hands grasping for your soul. Many who have ventured near the river never return, their fates lost to the Death Ship's eternal voyage. Once you see it, you may never leave the river alive. There's a number that no one should ever call. 99999. It's a forbidden sequence, whispered about in hushed tones, known only to those who dare to seek the unimaginable. The legend goes like this. If you dial the number after midnight, you'll hear a voice on the other end, soft and chilling, offering you anything you desire. A wish, a secret, a moment of power. But nothing comes without a cost. For every wish granted, a price is paid in blood. The moment you utter your request, you seal your fate. The voice will ask for nothing except your life, and when the sun rises, you will be gone, swallowed the shadowy corners of Chilean and Argentine folklore, there is a creature that terrifies even the most steadfast, the chanchon. This isn't any ordinary bird. It is a dark spirit, a twisted sorcerer transformed, taking the grotesque form of a disembodied head with enormous, bat-like wings, formed from its own ears. The chanchon is said to haunt the night, its eerie, blood-curdling cry, tu tu tu, echoing through villages and sending icy chills down the spines of those who hear it. Legend tells of powerful magi, sorcerers who could transcend the human form and, through a dark ritual, separate their heads to transform into the chanchon. As these sinister heads take flight, they prowl the darkness, seeking their victims, driven by an insatiable thirst for fear, with piercing red eyes that glow against the inky sky, and fanged teeth that glint in the moonlight. The chanchon is more than a mere creature. It is an omen of death, a harbinger of doom. Villagers claim that if you hear the chilling toot 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 cry, you must hide and remain absolutely silent, for the chanchon can sense even the faintest breath, the slightest heartbeat. Its presence drains warmth from the air, leaving a deathly chill in its wake. Some who have dared to look up at the sky during the cry swear they have seen the chanchon hovering, watching, waiting, and for the unlucky ones it chooses to descend upon. A strange, feverish sickness follows, lingering like a dark curse. Those who have encountered the chanchon and lived to tell the tale often describe nightmares that plague them for weeks afterward. Visions of a head with flapping ears, soulless red eyes, and that unending, haunting cry. To this day, the chanchon remains a whispered fear in the quiet villages along the Andes, a ghostly predator that rules the night skies. So if you ever hear that distant ghostly toot-toot-toot cry in the dead of night, beware. The chanchon may be circling above, its gaze set on you, eager to claim yet another soul in the darkness. In the grim corridors of 1960s police stations, an eerie rumor began to spread. A dark tool known as the colander lie detector. It wasn't an ordinary machine, but a contraption as twisted as the minds of those who wielded it. Stories tell of police or military interrogators, grim-faced and humorless, who would lead suspects into dim, flickering rooms. There, in the center of a barren table, sat a colander, connected by tangled wires to a clunky, whirring photocopier. With cold hands and steely eyes, they would press the colander onto the suspect's head, the metal pressing down cold and biting. The suspect, bewildered and terrified, would feel every nerve prickling with dread, trapped under that metallic cage as the interrogators began their relentless questioning. For every answer, their eyes would narrow, scrutinizing the slightest twitch, listening to the hum of the machine as if it were an oracle. And then the moment of terror, the photocopier would sputter, lights flashing as it spat out a single sheet of paper. In bold, damning letters it read, "He's lying. No escape. No mercy." The suspect's denials would crumble under the weight of that simple, ominous phrase. the machine held powers beyond human comprehension. And while rational minds would dismiss this setup as a mere psychological trick, to those who lived through it, the memory of that cold colander and the whispering hum of the photocopier still haunts their darkest nightmares. They say that some suspects, after enduring this twisted ritual, could still hear the faint sound of that photocopier, a ghostly reminder of the machine that could see through lies and leave nothing but a trail of fear in its wake. In the dark, moonless nights of the Caribbean, a shadow stalks the land, a creature known only as the chupacabra. The name goat sucker strikes fear into the hearts of those who whisper its legend. It is a nightmare made flesh, a thing that slinks through the underbrush, its glowing eyes reflecting the terror of the helpless creatures it hunts. First seen in Puerto Rico, the chupacabra is no mere animal. It is a monstrous, nightmarish predator with a hunger that cannot be quenched. Descriptions vary. Some say it has the spiny reptilian back of a creature from the depths of hell. Others speak of a beast with fangs like razors and claws like daggers. But one thing is certain: the chupacabra is a bloodthirsty killer. Livestock, especially goats, are its favored prey. In the dead of night, it strikes without warning. The victim is drained of its blood. The lifeless body left behind is a grim warning to anyone foolish enough to venture too close. The chupacabra doesn't leave a trace, only a chilling, inexplicable silence in the air, and the unmistakable scent of death. To those who have encountered it, the terror is real, and once you know its name, you can never escape its haunting presence. In the quiet town of Terrell, Texas, whispers of a woman known as Clara Crane still echo through the streets. Her legend, a chilling reminder of the darkness lurking beneath the surface of everyday life. Clara, or as she's feared to be called, once a sweet-faced woman, a stranger to no one, who always seemed to have a pocket full of treats for the children who dared to approach her. But her candy was no innocent delight. No, it was something far more sinister. It is said that Clara lured children into her grasp with the promise of sugary sweets, a gleam of kindness hiding the abyss of madness beneath her pale skin. Once they followed her into the shadows. They were never seen again. Parents, frantic with worry, found only the faintest traces. A few candies dropped on the ground, a small shoe, a forgotten doll. The children had vanished without a trace, swallowed whole by the night. The authorities could never find Clara. Some say she was the inspiration behind a real unsolved case of missing children in Durrell, where it was believed she kidnapped and then disappeared them into her twisted, hidden lair. Others claim she still roams the town, waiting for the next curious soul, a soft voice beckoning them closer with the rustling of candy wrappers, until the air thickens with the smell of decay and fear. And if you ever hear the faint crinkle of paper behind you in the dark, or feel the brush of cold fingers against your arm, beware. Clara Crane may be closer than you think. In the dead of night, under the oppressive weight of the full moon, a sinister pastime thrives in the quiet corners of rural farms. A cruel, twisted game known as cow tipping. The legend speaks of young thrill seekers who, driven by a strange, dark hunger, stalk the unwitting cows as they sleep soundly in the fields. The sound that shatters the quiet like a gunshot. The cow, stunned and disoriented, struggles to rise, its heavy body too disoriented to defend itself. But it's not just the thrill of the topple that lingers. There's something deeply unsettling about the practice. Some say it awakens something ancient, a curse bound to the land. There are whispers in the shadows that those who partake in cow tipping may be marked, followed by a presence that never leaves them, a watchful, unseen force that waits. Others say that the cows, though silent, are not as innocent as they appear. They have their own dark secrets, secrets they whisper to the night, seeking vengeance on those who dared disturb their rest. And once the